Okay, so we're live now. Um, so welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support. Um, we are at 1,000 subscribers now, and so we're at 1,000 subscribers now, and we are going for 10,000 subscribers. If you're already here, kindly smash the like button, and if you're new, kindly subscribe, and take your boy to 10,000 subscribers. So today we'll be discussing the talking points from Chelsea to Arsenal 2. And before I go into it, this is the debut show on YouTube, AFC Arsenal Town Hall. So there's a ritual I've thought about for everybody I'm bringing onto this show. So, Geedolz, I'll start from you. In less than a minute, can you tell us how you became an Arsenal fan?
Perfect. Thanks, Santi, for having me. Very funny story. I used to be a United fan. I used to be a Man U fan. Then I went to school where everybody in the class were Man U fans, and they used
Right.
to banter Arsenal fans. And the one Arsenal fan there couldn't defend himself. So I felt pity for him, and I started defending him. And that's how I became an Arsenal fan. Just defending an Arsenal fan made me know more about the club, right? And just speak more to people. And my brothers, they were Arsenal fans back home. I was a Man U fan at the time, but because my brothers would always tackle me, with Arsenal related stuff, right? I had evidence to back my guy back in school, and it just made me just like the club. Then, of course, the Invincibles happened, and the rest is history. But it's what it is.
Right. That's a funny story indeed. So yeah, so Bide, can you let us know how you became
So,
an
uh,
Arsenal
so I
fan?
think basically I would say because Nigerian, then you know about Kano plays for Arsenal.
Right, right.
Then I started then when you start doing like a soccer, then see on because I used to read a lot of complete sport back then in high school too. Then when you watch some like all these like a Premier League highlights, and like again, then majorly because of Kanu, because he's a Nigerian. Then unfortunately, I was also surrounded by a lot of Chelsea fans that were like loud, as at that time they were also very
Yeah.
loud. And then I think I just started developing like a much more interest, and then of course the way Arsenal plays and stuff like that. I think those are like how I and then when I got in, then those are turbulent times. Then I couldn't get out
Yes.
again. I was like let's just stay here and enjoy Arsenal.
Right. Thank you for sharing your story. So, let's just go into the game. And for everybody viewing right now, you can let us know what you think in the comment section, and your comment will be pinned onto the screen. So yeah, the first talking point from the game for me will be I noticed since David Raya came in, it was supposed to be an upgrade on what we already had, which was Ramsdale. So, but since he came in, I think he's played about 8 to 9 games, and we've seen a lot of errors from him so far. The same thing we're trying to upgrade on. So I want to know your opinion on that. Has it really been an upgrade on what we already have, or is it like we still need to give him some time coming into a new team? I mean, it was coming from a mid-table team like Brentford into this Arsenal team that looks like is an additional responsibility for him, comes with a lot of pressure. So what do you think, Jidos?
Okay, so the Raya issue, I've spoken about it on spaces like a few times, right? First things first, I'm going to be very blunt. I was among the people who wanted Ramsdale to be dropped because I felt he wasn't performing like he should be. I feel like the level that we have gotten to requires a goalkeeper that can be a rock, right? Which Ramsdale was not. Ramsdale was constantly costing us pain, lack of concentration in games, amongst many other things, right? Um, so I really wanted him to be dropped. I wanted to get a better goalkeeper, and I've been ringing it out in spaces. Um, my personal preferences were, Mike Magnan, Yevan Diouf, to mention but a few. However, I also talked about David Raya, in comparing with Ramsdale. It was not my first choice, right? And I
Right.
don't think it was really high up there, but I just felt it it could come in and give Ramsdale better competition than Ramsdale was having with Matona at the time, right? Now
Right.
is there. Now is there. The first thing that I wanted in my life was I didn't want Ramsdale to be comfortable because he was so comfortable. Right? When you think about the goalkeeper that Ramsdale replaced, Emi Martinez or Leno, who replaced Martinez, when you think about it, the last goalkeeper in which we won a proper trophy with was Martinez, right? Who has gone on to do great things. Won the World Cup, Finalissima, won the Copa America, right? This I'm talking about Martinez, right? The guy who was the long-term departee before Ramsdale came in and took that whole place, right? Our goalkeeping situation needed some kind of surgery because Ramsdale has taken us as far as it could take us, as far as it could take us.
Right.
So there was an upgrade that was needed. The question has Raya really been an upgrade to Ramsdale? The question is out there in the air. I wouldn't say yes, I wouldn't say no, because it depends on where you look at it, right? The eye test plus the amount of pressure that you know the fans are giving to him, not just the fans, the press, and this whole attention that is coming with it would suggest that okay, we could have done the same with Ramsdale in goal. But when you think about the point tally we've amassed in the games he has played in the Premier League, right, compared to what we did last season, has it been an upgrade in Ramsdale? Statistically, yes, right? We got 11 points in those games this year. Last year in the same game, we got 9 points, right?
Right.
So statistically, yes. When you think about the 5 games he has played in the Premier League, I'm talking Man City, Everton, um, Chelsea yesterday, Spurs, and Bournemouth. In those games last year, we got 9 points. Those games this year, we got 11 points because we lost to City and Everton last year. This year, we won those games and we drew to Chelsea and Spurs this year. Last year, we won those games. When you look at it from that statistical aspect, right, we've gotten more points with Raya in goal than with Ramsdale in goal, right, in same features from last year. Um, we've considered less as well because we considered 5 last year, we considered 4 this year with Raya in goal. We've also gone on to keep clean sheet against Manchester City for the first time in 8 years, right? So when you are looking at all of these numbers, it's showing that it might be an increment or a better decision to let Ramsdale go. However, the eye test is suggesting otherwise, almost like, oh, with the way he holds the ball, we kind of got him to play from the back. It's not playing out from the back. We are still feeling so much pressure. Then I think about the numbers he had at Brentford. That's what you're taking into consideration, right? Why did he complete so many passes at Brentford? Simple. Who were their 2 top men? Brian Buemo, Ivan Tony. These are monsters when it comes to winning draws in the air, right? So
Right.
Raya takes the ball up, Buemo wins the ball, Tony wins the ball. That's a successful pass completed, right? So, and also the instruction that he's getting right now from the manager, right? It's also something that you should look at, right? If Ateta is insistent, right, via hold the ball, suck them in. He's going to play to that instruction. He's definitely going to play to that instruction. He's going to hold the ball and suck them in. It just happens that sometimes when you are sucking them in, they get the ball off you. That is the downside to what Ateta is trying to do with Raya, right? But at the end of the day, it might come good. It might come looking better than he is right now, and I'm open to it, right? So that's it for me.
All right, yeah. Thank you for sharing your opinion. We have Sydney J. Pin who says Ryan needs time. ATL, welcome to the show. You were a little bit late, and
Yeah,
there
sorry,
was
sorry,
no problem, no
sorry.
problem. Thanks for coming. So there was a ritual we performed at the beginning of the show. I guess we'll have to wait till the end of the show before you could do yours. So
Okay.
um, right now we're talking about David Raya and Ramsdale, and if it's really been an upgrade on Ramsdale so far. So um, Tomide, what do you think?
So again, I think you can judge this based on the pedestal at which both of them entered the team. When Ramsey was going to come to Arsenal, one of the problem Ramsey had was the fact that he was coming from a relegation threatening team. Does he have the mentality or does he have the quality to play at Arsenal? And as at that time, I remember like maybe previous season, we tried to play out from the back, and I saw maybe was he against maybe Burnley or something like that. Leno was making mistakes. And before Leno even made that mistake, I think Martinez came in. And people were even calling at the time for Martinez to even replace Leno because of how Martinez performed now. And then when we lost our first three games, that's in, I think in 2020 season, that's the documentary, Amazon documentary. So it was easy for Arteta to bring in Ramsdale because we needed a change somewhere. So it was like there was a negative period and something needed to change because we were conceding a lot of goals and there was a toxic environment. So when Ramsey came in against Norwich that first game and people saw the way he passed, his confidence, it was easy for people to kind of like, oh, this guy might be an upgrade. It might not be as bad as we thought. Now, Raya is coming in after a season where Ramsey was top 10 goalkeeper in the world. It means that is a different level he's coming to meet. Now, a lot of people have been used to Ramsey in the past 10 years. And in the past 2 years, and they felt like Ramsey have been a top goalkeeper in the Premier League. He has improved. And the way Arteta drops Ramsdale didn't do he might be making some mistakes, which is normal for people to try to play out of the back, but they didn't feel justified that Ramsdale should be dropped. So Raya is coming to top the performance of the top 10 goalkeeper in the world last season, which is one a big pressure on his own. It means he's not coming to maybe come. He's not coming to do the basics. It means he's not coming to just be like a normal, just like a level par with Ramsdale. He's coming to show he's actually better than Ramsdale, which is a different pressure. And let's forget that Raya is good. He was a good keeper in Brentford. Nobody expects you in Brentford to perform at a world class level on every game. You can have a bad game in Brentford and everyone will still be okay as long as your coach will still pick you because you're undisputed number one. But Raya is in that goalpost, knowing fully well that any slight mess up, people will start calling from Ramsdale to come back. That's why I felt like the pressure that Ramsdale is feeling, that Raya is feeling right now, was something that was caused by Arteta. Because even right now, look at that last game against Chelsea. That last game against Chelsea, people were singing Ramsdale's name in the stadium. So and that's just how many games of Raya. That's just like let's say 5 or 6 games of Raya, and people are already singing Ramsdale's name because people felt like it wasn't better than Ramsdale. Being able to now perform at a world class level when you know that any slight mistake, you are going back to the bench. So that doesn't necessarily mean that if Ramsdale is back in the team, he's not going to make similar mistake Raya is making. Again, like I said, this problem was created by Arteta. The idea of I want to have two top goalkeepers, I've always told people, has never worked anywhere. It has never worked any. You cannot keep two top goalkeepers with almost the same, let's say, almost the same ability, because you can say, okay, maybe Ramsdale is a little bit rash in his decision, and maybe Raya brings calm. But even if you look at those metrics, you can't still say that Ramsdale is the undisputed backup to Raya. They are almost close in ability, and you can't keep both of them happy, which is why I see that Arteta is in a hole right now because if he drops Raya, then it's gonna look really terrible on him because then why did you buy Raya? If he's why are you committing that amount on Raya if you know that he's not even going to bench Ramsdale and he's gonna look indecisive, which I feel like Arteta is still gonna like stick with him. So that's what I'm saying. Like right now, what Arsenal fans should kind of like embrace now is father. In my own opinion, is one of them will be sold in the next 1 year because this cannot continue. And so that one person can have that stability in the team. Raya so far right now, if you're looking at the mistakes he's making, because people are looking at the only negative stuff he's doing right now, and there are any positive stuff he's doing, they just feel like it's normal, and they only want to focus on the boy gave away to Palmer when Ramsey also gave a boy away last season to Sunderland to score. It was chipped. It was chipped outside. But was chipped by Modric scores. That I'm saying, like Raya has made a mistake, and some of those mistakes Ramsdale can make this similar mistake. But because people feel like Raya is not in any way, they are not convinced by the eye test, like Geedolz said, better than Ramsdale. Any mistake he makes is amplified and stuff like that. So this problem was created by Arteta, and Raya we have to prove every week that he is extremely better than Ramsdale before people can accept it. So whether it's an upgrade or not, we can't really know now. We can't judge if someone is an upgrade over 8 games. When you're comparing to Ramsdale that had over 50 or 60 games for Arsenal, you can't judge Raya's upgrade in this short space of time. As of right now, I believe Raya is still playing under pressure to prove to people that he actually deserves to be Arsenal's number 1. So that's what I feel about this situation.
All right. Thank you for putting your opinion. So, ATL, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, I really don't know the why people are making a big deal out of this riot thing. At the end of the day, we've been clamoring for improvements. Let's move to the next level. This is the right time to move forward. We need to do something, different way, right? And then the manager sat down and felt like, okay, based on my expertise, this is how I feel we should go about this, right? Even when you look back, I think he has always been going for Raya. And now his target from the beginning is Raya. Then don't know what happened. Maybe they couldn't get the deal done. Then he went for Ramsdale. So his eye is always on Raya before. So and if the manager feel like Raya is that person he trusts that much to take us from where Ramsdale has brought us to the next level. Let's, in fact, at this point, I think the sample size is still very small for me. For me,
Yes.
actually, the sample size is very small. Like it's very small, right? The sample size is very small. Then, if you want to go and check the metrics and know, it is not even enough to start giving total evaluation about, oh, this guy is good, this guy is not good, this guy is not really. That's why I said me. I just want the manager to do what he feel like doing. So if this works, thank God. It's all for at the end of the day, we are all passionate about the club, right? We want the club to like succeed. So the manager also wants the club to succeed too. He wants to win games too. So let this guy do his job. Let him at least a whole season. Let's see him throughout this season first. Then we can now use the same measuring tools that we use for Ramsdale, now bring it out and now evaluate Raya too. But after 6-7 games, we are already saying Ramsdale is better, this one is better, this one is. Bro, it is too early for that now. It is not even a conversation yet. How do you want to analyze it?
All right. I get what
Well,
you're saying.
can I add to that, right?
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
I think from a fan point of view, there's a lot of confirmation bias that goes on with all of this, right? Almost like those who clamor for Ramsdale are waiting for a Raya error to point a finger at to say, oh, this is why Ramsdale shouldn't have been dropped. Those who wanted Ramsdale to be dropped are waiting for a Raya performance, a Raya clean sheet to tell you this is the reason why Ramsdale was dropped. So there's still that divide, right? It is very similar to the Kayavet issue, where the moment Arsenal win a game with Kayavet on the pitch, it seems like Kayavet played well, and you can't question that, right? And when we don't, it's almost like we lost the game because Kayavet was on the pitch. There's a lot of confirmation bias there, and every single person right now who sees themselves as a stakeholder in this conversation, because by fans, like I think like we are like stakeholders, right? They have this bias of, okay, this is what I think I want to happen. So let us point a finger at that. So for me, it's nothing. For me, it's
Okay,
nothing.
yeah. Thank you. And we have many people in the comment section. Melina is there. Hey, Papa Geedolz. How you doing, SJ and everyone? So thanks for being here. So going forward, there's one thing that's been evident in our team this season so far is the creativity problem. We've been suffering with creativity issues this season so far, and at a point this season, I think Luton Town created more chances than Arsenal Football Club, and we're meant to be competing for the title. And what I have right here with me is I think we sit fifth on the table when it comes to big chances created in the league this season so far.
You mean currently or a few
Cu-
weeks ago?
Currently, I,
Fifth.
I yes, we
Yeah,
sit fifth on the table
yeah, 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 yes, yes.
when it
I did
comes
check.
to big
Oh,
chances. Yeah, when it comes to big chances created, we are below Manchester City is first with 101 big chances created so far. Chelsea is second, interestingly, with 81 big chances created so far. Liverpool is third, and we are behind Bournemouth in fifth. Bournemouth has created more big chances than us this season. Uh, what do you think has been the causes of the lack of creativity in our team this season so far? I'll
you,
start with ATL.
yeah. See, for me, I have been saying this. We are going to cook the strikers. We are going to talk about them missing chances and all. We are going to like talk about that. But at the same time, too, we need to look at the guys because at the end of the day, when we want to analyze these things, we look at the team as a whole, right? Like as a unit. Not we are picking one person, then maybe we lost a game. We want to pick one or two guys, then we put all of that on them. We should be looking at the team as a unit. So this way I'm going. I don't believe Arsenal is that club that wants to play in a manner whereby we want to be living on moments. Oh, opponents make one mistake, we capitalize on that, then we start down on that. Or probably just two flimsy chances in a game, we find a way to put it at the back of the net and we sit down on that way. We don't want to do more, right? We can't be living on moments. And I said something that there are people that the creativity role in the squad is pivoted on their shoulder like this. And I am not yet seeing what is expected of them. Kai Havertz is on that level because the man wants him to play in the midfield, at the left eight for that matter. And if you want to play in the left eight, you know that creativity is one thing that needs to be part of your play. Offensively, you need to be more effective, right? Even more than your defensive, whatever. Because that's the reason why they bought you for that kind of amount of money, right? Because you're attack minded, not because you are a defender, right? So Odegaard is on the same thing too. He needs to also step up. Honestly, like I watched just a single game actually, the international break, and I have been saying it. I say, Odegaard, you need to like put it all together. You need to put it all together. And I have been saying is maybe the manager gave certain because I know the manager. We know the manager look like he's more obsessed and key into control and possession. So there are some risks that there are some passes that you expect Odegaard to just make those passes anyways, even though they are going to take possession of the ball or whatever. But if you rather turn back to his left, pass it to somebody in the middle, then somehow Saliba, the ball will end back. Go and check how we play. Like I've been saying this, I've been singing this. You play to the left, to the right, to the center, back to Saliba. To the left, to the center, back to Saliba all the time. In fact, they will rather let that ball get back to Raya. They will rather prefer the ball to get back to Raya to go and recycle it, other than to carry the ball or somebody trying to make those forward passes or whatever. And guess what? You get closer to scoring goals when you keep the ball rolling in the opponent's box, 18-yard box. Just let the ball, let it keep it rolling, either by deflection, either by you shoot at them, somebody deflected it in, either anything can come on. We've seen it against City. When Trossard carried that ball, I was like, I am not passing to the midfield again. I am shooting. And by deflection, what happened? Imagine Martinelli trying to stop that ball again and take 1 or 2 touches. You know they will close him down, but it should. So they need to start working on how to get the final third, get it to the 18-yard box, and the guy supposed to be doing that need to step up. Kayavad is there, Odegaard is there. Guys too, I want them to do something too, right? In fact, that's part of their fundamental role, right? It's just
Right.
on it does. It just
Yeah.
that's for me.
Okay, can I come in on this?
Yeah. One second. Someone Mary said it here seems to make sense when I see his expression. That begs for a question. ATL, have you worked in construction before?
Yeah, like a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah, it was obvious because the other time when you were talking about measurements, I saw your expression and how you were measuring the whole thing with your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
Geedolz, yeah, go on.
Okay, so I think I have a very detailed explanation on why our creativity numbers are very down this season. When you think about it, in possession, we are a 3-2-2-3 team, right? That's the WM in possession. And a large percentage of what we do in possession is very reliant on one man, Alexander Zinchenko, right? In possession. Zinchenko's first start was on the 4th game this season. Before that, against Forest, it was Timber at left back. Against Palace, it was Tomiyasu at left back. Against Fulham, it was Curio at left back. Zinchenko came on in that game to change the game, although we eventually drew the game. That's the first reason why our creativity numbers are very low, the Zinchenko factor. The second reason is of course, the Thomas Partey factor, right? Thomas Partey is a very creative defensive midfielder that people don't understand, right? What Thomas Partey does with ease is passing lanes. He knows how to spot those passing lanes and just give the ball, especially to Bukayo Saka. He knows how to just give the ball to Saka and leave Saka one-on-one with his right back or with his left back, and and there's an overload with Odegaard and Ben White and everything. The third factor why our creativity numbers are very low is yesterday was the first time this season we saw our front three from last season start again. And one of them was not fit, Bukayo Saka, right? So when you think about that, right, these are 3 reasons before Carabet. This is because everybody says, oh, he hates Carab, but I don't, right? And you said it yesterday on my page when you said you understand the reason why I've been talking about Carabet because of the amount spent on Carabet, right? That amount that been invested on XYZ players around Europe that moved this season, and we could have been a better team in possession. Also, with the caliber of players that have been left out of the team for Carabet to now play. I've said that Partey's absence is something that you look at. When you think about the winner against United, against City, where did it come from? A long pass from Thomas Partey. You get, and we've had dangerous chances created like that where Partey just sees Odegaard in space, sees Martinelli in space, sees Saka in space, even like bouncing the ball off Gabriel Jesus. Nketiah this season so far, he has had about 6 starts this season in 9 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
It took him up until March the 14th to start his first Premier League game last season. And that was because Jesus was injured from the World Cup, right? So there are changes in the way we play that is definitely affecting the output that we are producing at this point in time. For the first 2 games, we were complaining about Gabriel Magalhaes being dropped and Thomas Partey playing at right back, right? Of course, we could see how it was affecting us at the time. Not to mention that we then went on to get a red card in the game against Palace away at ATLsoso back. When you look at all of these factors, right, it has definitely affected the way the creativity has been. The front three, Zinchenko, Thomas Partey, then the Carvet issue. At left eight, right? If you want to go with it, so there are 2 ways to configure a 3-man midfield. There are 2 ways to configure a 2-man midfield. So there's the attacker, the attacker is usually the creator, there's the defender, and there's the box-to-box guy, right? So that's one way. Then the way Pep taught us, play 2 attackers and 1 number 6, right? Before that, it has been the way we know. Play one attacker and 2 defensive midfielders to sit behind him, right? That's when we are doing the old Ozil, Flamini, and Coquelin, and those kind of things that also sit behind him. Then you create, or you can do it the Jurgen Klopp way. Play 3 central midfielders. No one is an attacker. No one is a defensive midfielder. They are all central midfielders. The one that want to run forward can run forward. The one that wants to stay back they can stay back. Right? It can work that way. The way we are doing it this year, it's almost like we are making a bad impression of the classic Man City teams, right? A very, very bad impression of the classic Man City team. Those teams that had David Silva and Bernardo, then Fernando will be behind them, and there'll be KDB, you get right, and they are very, very attacking. When we played those games with Carvet and Odegaard, then we played Bukayo Saka, we played Martinelli, and we played Nketiah or Trossard or whatever we did. It did not translate to an astronomical amount of chances created, right? There are factors to look at. The quality of players playing in the system, right? While Pep was doing that, who was the striker they had up front? Kunsegyu Aguero, one of the deadliest strikers we ever seen in Premier League history, right? The Gabriel Jesus that we are looking at right now was even like a bench player, Then he would just play and sell him there because he can, and selling is a bad boy, like you can say, right? So our creativity issues is down to personnel, down to systems, and it is down to a bit of in-game management, right? A bit of in-game management. I feel we are not responding to the way teams set up to play against us like we should be, right? So when Tottenham were playing against us the way they were doing against us, where they would put the ball on the floor and they want to pass the ball to Van der Ven, to Udoji, to Romero, right? The intensity in our pressing, right, was non-existent for a large portion of the game. The intensity in our pressing. Finally, right, even against Chelsea yesterday, if you look at the way we pressed against Chelsea in that first half, it was abysmal. Chelsea just played through us. It was Enzo, Caicedo, They were playing through us with ease. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, is this the same Arsenal that pressed Man City so well in the Community Shield, right? You're asking yourself those questions, and it was telling me, it was giving me that, oh, maybe we just came into this game with ease, thinking that it was a done deal. When we woke up was after the Modric goal, and we woke up
Mhm.
and we could press them, and we rightfully forced an error, which gave us the equalizer. Up until that point, they played with relative ease. So I feel if we can maintain the same amount of or the same intensity of pressing from minute 1 to minute 60 or minute 70, where you've then closed the game on, then you can take out players and bring in players, that will be fun going forward. But let me stop here for now.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Talking about Saka, the fact that I wasn't fit yesterday, and he, a lot of things he did went under the radar until you actually check out for the numbers after the game, and it was absolutely incredible, in my opinion. And that has been happening over and over again. Even on his day off, somehow he managed to influence the game. And I really can't think about what we'll be doing as a club without him, because the whole genesis of the project goes way back to Bukayo Saka, Emi Smith-Rowe, Martinelli. So, but talking about the whole creativity issues, AFC Inverted, I would love to know what your opinion on that is.
All right, thank you. So one thing I want us to know is the fact that we have, let's say, maybe through eye test, we have like let's say we thought last season we were like top two in chances created. I think we had that like impression that even last season that we were like very fluid. Now I just put up last season stats. So we were 16 chances created, which is we created 73 chances last season. And from
All
those
season?
73 big chances, yes, big chances in Premier League, we created 73. And from those 73 big chances created, we scored 88 goals. Now I'm looking at it from like the Premier League side. Liverpool created 103 chances and they scored lesser goals than us. Man City created 103 and scored 96. Manchester United created more chances than us, 84 chances. Big chances. They created 84 big chances and they scored 56 goals. Brighton created. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Then we considered almost the same goal with Manchester United.
That's what I'm saying. So now, we created 73 big chances and we scored 88 goals, which shows you that we are more effective than our chances created. Now, let's now look at how does Liverpool create chances. Liverpool have a diverse way of creating chances through crosses and through short passes and stuff like that. Manchester City and they have Trent, they have Robertson, who at any time will just keep lopping the ball inside the box. Trent, once he sees the space, he keeps creating. He doesn't get tired of creating. Trent Alexander-Arnold does exactly. Robertson does exactly the same thing. Now look at Man City. Whether there's someone in the box or there's no person in the box, De Bruyne, we always try to pick a path. We always make that crosses, everything. Look at Man U, Bruno Fernandes. Now, if you look at KDB and Bruno Fernandes, they always have mostly more possession lost. They have almost, for the most part, they always have the most, and also their unsuccessful passes are always also very high. But what do they have in common? They keep lopping. Anytime they see like a chance, if they see you run, even when they can't find you, the lob be pass. Now look at Newcastle. Trippier is one of the highest creators this season. And what does Trippier do? Trippier is always making those crosses inside the box, taking those corners, doing every other thing. And Brighton also had created more chances than us. But look at Arsenal. Now, the way we play is the fact that we rarely make crosses into the box, but it has to be very sure crosses. Maybe you're trying to pick. I think that right now you see that Saka is making more of those diagonal crosses now. Maybe this season and maybe some other part of. Now, if you look at the difference between the way we play and the way these teams play, is the fact that I've seen Odegaard play very well. I've seen if except Odegaard is very sure he can pick up that pass. He rarely makes ambitious cross. He rarely does that. He rarely, like, you would never see Odegaard say that, oh, I just see someone running, I just want to make that ambitious cross. Now, that is not Odegaard's game. Odegaard's game is totally different from the way he wants to create his own game. And he likes to knit up the attack, make everything join and come together. That's why you can see Odegaard can have almost like 98% pass accuracy in a game. I don't think I've seen a game where Bruno Fernandes had maybe 85% or 90% pass accuracy. He's always like run. So we should first leave the myth that last season maybe we created 100 chances. We created 73 big chances last season, and we scored 88 goals, which means we were very effective in our way of creating. It means like we don't rely on creating big chances to score. And that is totally based on the way Arteta wants to play. So we will never have, I don't think with the way we play, with the way we create our chances, we will never have the most chances created. Because as I was surprised, because we had 73 and Liverpool had 103. That's like a 30 gap. And last season, people said, no, Arsenal was very fluid. Chances were flowing left, right, and center. But we created 73. And Manchester United, that they were Rashford and Inshallah last season, they created 84. So that's what I'm saying. That context sometimes is key. When we want to like put pressure on the fact that our now we can agree that we've not been fluid. That our top three or our main attackers just started for after. I think they've only had 14 minutes until yesterday. They've not started. So let's look at, when you look at creativity numbers, big chances created. Don't expect us to be maybe top 2 or top 3 because of the personnel or the way we create our chances. We rarely take risk. We don't really have like attacking midfielders that take a lot of risks in creating chances. We try to like make everything join. Everybody plays according to. We don't have ambitious. I don't have ambitious creators like that. That's that. Oh, people say Fabio Vieira is an ambitious creator. He can put the cross in. Like, look at the cross that Fabio Vieira gave to against Fulham. Odegaard would never make that pass. Odegaard would try to find someone very close that can give Nketiah that pass. See Vieira make that one. So and that is the way Odegaard likes to play, and that's the way the manager, and that's why the manager likes him, gave him the captain, because that is the way he wants to build this team. It will never be like, he will never be a volume creator. And before you can top the list of big chances created, you need a volume creator. Like Trippier just run the wings, he crosses the ball. It doesn't matter if the cross is a nonsense cross, hard cross. So when we look at the context of Arsenal, Luton Town have more big chances created, look at the way those people create chances and the way we create. Like you said, everything, we would rather go back to Raya and attract them to come back to Raya. Even if we get to the midfield and we see that someone is running, we would rather go back to Raya and attract press again and break it and want to. That's what I'm saying. Yesterday, how many big chances did we create yesterday? But we scored 2 goals. But if you see how many big chances Chelsea created yesterday, they should have scored more. So that's what I'm saying, that we should be more concerned about how we are performing according to our XG. Except we want to remove our main creator, our number 10, Odegaard, and put a new person. Except we want to get rid of Odegaard, which is not a discussion right now. The Odegaard will never be an ambitious creator or a risk taker. He will always knit everything together and pick out the right passes. But will never be okay. He will always have that high number of completed passes. But he's not going to be that risk taker that's going to start creating like volume. No. So it's just Arteta's style of creating. We will never be. If you stick like this, we will never be the top 2 or top 3 in chance creation or having a lot of big chances created. We will just be outperforming our XGs.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that?
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Another thing, like Geedolz mentioned those things, those factors that might actually be affecting our, chances, creating chances or no. Another thing again, imagine we're just seeing last season we Martinelli, the attack of Martinelli, Geedolz and Bukayo give us 40 goals and 23 assists. I just get to find the numbers a couple of days ago. Three of them, 40 goals and 23 assists altogether, three of them. And yesterday is just that one game that we have been seeing them, that we've seen them, spend quality time playing together. Another thing, our potentially the most dangerous midfield trio, we've not seen them together, at least for a substantial amount of time. This is Partey,
Yes.
Rice, and Odegaard, right? So I think we see halftime on our side, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's if the manager is seeing it the way we are seeing it, right? So if in a game where you have Bukayo Saka fit, Jesus is fit, Martinelli is on his A game, and you have Partey, Odegaard, and Rice. Come on, that should be a menace for the opponent, right? So and I feel
Yeah.
like I,
It's one second. I get where you're coming from, and with everything AFCInverted has said, do you think? Because I agree with you to a certain degree, but if I'm judging by everything you've just analyzed right now, a lot of people in this fan base has been crying for, oh, we need a goal scoring striker, this and that, blah blah blah, and I mean, if we are not creating enough chances, these goal scoring strikers, I mean, if you're looking at the profile of Erling Haaland or Sime, they are not really involved when it comes to build up. They just want to be in that box, create for them, they'll score your goals. Right. But we as a team don't play this way. We don't do these things.
Yes.
Now, if we're going out into the window to get a goal scoring striker, if we continue to play this way, don't you think they will struggle when they come in?
okay, you want me to answer that, right?
Yeah. Anybody can go on.
So you see, I don't know the Ivan Toney thing. I'm all in for that. I want Ivan Toney, but I don't know. There's this part of me that just I don't know why I feel like that. I just feel like the midfield, when you look at it, the midfield is still pretty much of a problem than the. And this is why I'm going to say this. It's because of Kai Havertz. I look at Kai Havertz, his body, physiognomy, his attitude during games, his movement, positioning shows that the way this guy is configured, in fact, his subconscious mind plays like a striker. All those duels, he has to see at least if you cannot make up, if you cannot do the one the primary role, what we expect you to do, if you can't succeed at that, at least you have to make up for something somewhere. That is why he has to go and be winning duels and be doing those defensive work. Normally, when you look at it, he's supposed to be a more attack-minded guy, more than Granit Xhaka, right? And he might succeed, and it depends on time. But do we have the time as a club? We don't.
It's
Right?
yeah.
So you get
I think what you're talking about is what SJ just pointed out in the comments. He
yeah,
said, "I have a question for the panel. When the game state is in favoring Odegaard, how do you all feel about moving him to LCM or for
Oh
Havertz
no.
at RCM?"
Oh no.
see,
Oh
let me
no.
tell you.
Let me
See,
wait. 80 or 1
see,
second. Let me know why Geedolz.
oh no. Like there's something you cannot buy, which is understanding. You cannot buy that, right? The synergy he has with Saka and White is untouchable, right? The next person who has that kind of synergy with him is with Saka is Emil. In fact, the Allen boys, or let's say like this, right? Um, I would favor taking one of them there. Let me take Emil on the pitch before I take Harvard there. Right? Even Trossard in the left row. You see, my issue with Mikel is he does a lot of things and just forget what he does, or he chooses not to, even when they've worked. I don't get why Trossard was the best player in preseason in the left row, and it's 10 games in the league. In 9 games in the league now, two other in Champions League, one in the League Cup. He hasn't played there for 1 minute this season. Why? How? What? Why has Reece Nelson not started the Premier League game? Even with Saka's injury. But you saw this guy fit enough for you to give him a new 4-year contract.
A
Right?
100,000 a week.
100,000.
Exactly. So you're asking too many questions. And when you ask the question, fans will tell you why are you doing that. Play your best team at all times. When you are playing your best team at all times, when they get injured, those players that you feel are not your best team, they are the people that you will turn to. They will not turn to Robodin last season. We have to turn to him now. Because when people they were tired and knackered and you could have rested them, you felt Robodin was not good enough. But when they got injured, that's who you have. You built your squad with these players. So for me, like it's something that I know doesn't favor us if we then want to take Martin Odegaard to the left side. Odegaard, by nature, when you see Odegaard play, his best work is on the right hand part of the pitch. And I feel, right, this is a thought. I feel this is why we are not even playing with a number 10. Because when that miraculous turnaround was made for Ateta's job back in that game against Chelsea, you look at it, there was a double pivot of Partey and Granit Xhaka. Then in front of them, Saka, Emil, Martinelli, Lacazette in that game against Chelsea. And that was a pattern that we used for the rest of that month. Then we signed Odegaard in January the following year on a 6-month loan. And when Odegaard came into the team instead of Emil, Odegaard naturally favored going to the right. In that spectacular game he had against West Ham at the London Stadium, you could see the way he constantly combined with Nicolas Pepe in that game against West Ham, right? Constantly, while we are 2-0 down, was Pepe on the right. He constantly combined with Pepe, and we came up and we drew that game 3-3. Champions League is the Europa League at the time. In those games that we were playing, I think, who did we play? Olympiacos. It was against Olympiacos in the Europa League where, it would always tend to, they would give him at the number 10, but it would favor the right hand side. So it felt like the left was suffering. And I think what Mikel did to do with that is now, okay, I'm going to push Granit to occupy that position and keep a defensive midfielder behind them. However, I don't want the defensive midfielder to be alone in midfield, so I'm going to now invert the left back, to join him there, and we'll play three at the back. So Odegaard single-handedly has transformed the way we play with creating, with the way with how we create from the right. If you now say, okay, Odegaard, you're not taking him to the left, I think that juice will be taken off. That juice will be taken off. Even while he was coming up at 15 for Madrid, he was playing as a right winger, like what Saka is doing right now. Like that was some of his responsibility. He would play as a right winger. When he went to Holland with Vitesse, he played as a right winger. Why then do you want to do all of that and you take him from the right side of the pitch where he has this
But
bias
Geedolz,
left?
I myself have always been an advocate of Odegaard at FCM, and I just feel like it gives him a better angle when it comes to final balls. If you remember the Martinelli goal against Brighton last season, I don't think he will find it difficult giving Saka that kind of pass from the right side of the pitch. And it was just a one-time pass, and we had our goal. And the goals he's been scoring from the right-hand side as well, I feel like I've seen him a couple of times shooting across his body from the left side of the pitch and getting his goal regardless. So I don't think it will affect his goal scoring. I personally just feel like, moving him from that position, I'm not expecting Havertz to fill that position for me. I want a volume creator in this team.
Okay.
Even
So that
let me just round it up. Even before we go out there to sign a goal scoring striker, if you ask me, I want someone that is going to create loads of chances for that goal scoring striker that people feel we need. Because if you look at Haaland scored over 50 goals in the league last season. And go look at the games where Haaland was completely missing. It only meant one thing: De Bruyne was having a bad day. The guys that create chances for him cut off his supply, and Haaland is completely useless because he never gets involved in build up or anything else. All he does is just score goals. So if you cut off his supply, he's completely useless in a game. And there were some games last season that he even had less touches than goalkeepers. So for me, if that creativity, I know we still score goals regardless. And I was saying it last season, like we scored our highest number of goals in the Premier League season last season, despite now having a goal scoring striker. The goals were spread across the team, and so far the goal keeps coming in. For me, I don't have a problem, but people seem to want to have their a player that plays for their team in that golden boot race.
Yeah,
That's
but
why it's
like I was saying, like I was saying about that striking thing, like you asked me earlier. Ivan Toney, Ferguson, you people have been saying a lot about them, but see, that money, okay, fine. If there is money, maybe they should go and get it done. But Havertz looks like a striker who's been playing in the midfield. In my own, because I've watched the guy leading the line, I've watched him in the midfield, and the only place I enjoy watching Havertz is when he's topping the line. So I've been saying is that, come on, you've been crying for backup for Bukayo all this while. If you push Havertz to that department, is automatic. It give you multiple options. So that means in certain games, you can push Jesus to the wing, right wing, and let Havertz lead so that Bukayo can sit down. Maybe you are going to Europe on Wednesday or Thursday, right? And you want him fresh.
What Thursday, please? Please, I beg.
So what I'm saying,
bro, he's so used to the Europa League. He think we're still playing Thursday night football.
No, no, because I'm talking about rotation. No, I'm
okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. I thought you mentioned Thursday.
No, not Thursday. No, not Thursday.
Come on,
because I'm talking about rotation and managing Bukayo.
I get what you're saying.
So I now people are saying again. So now last season, Odegaard had 7 assists. Saka had, I think, 11 or so. It means Saka had, like, I think Odegaard had just 1 more assist than Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus was injured for 4 months. That shows you the profile of Odegaard. Odegaard would never be an ambitious creator. It means he would never, like, his game is always knitting everything together, controlling the tempo, making sure everybody's knitting very well. That is why I'm saying, like, our LCM, that is why our LCM cannot also be that profile. Because what you will just have is 2 ball augers that just want everything to flow. And that is why you need someone either that can be okay with not having a lot of the ball and having more box presence on the LCM. Or you move, you move Odegaard to the left and you have an ambitious creator on the right. But one thing I want you to know is, you never, with Odegaard, you're always going to be able to control games. You will control games very well. But you are never going to get that ambitious creator. So which is why I know that Arteta was trying that Havertz LCM, because Havertz will be comfortable without, he's not a ball hog, and he can make those runs into the box as a box presence. That's why I keep saying, like, people say we should buy a LCM. What kind of LCM are we going to buy? Are we going to buy an LCM that also wants to control the game? That also wants to control the tempo of the game when we already have someone, Odegaard, that does both. So it's either you bring the responsibility of Odegaard to coming back a little bit, dropping back to control the game and do what he likes to do best, rather than expecting Odegaard to also control the game and also making those pinpoint. I don't think you expect De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes. They are not good at controlling the games. Once the game state doesn't favor them, they are out. That's why you see them having. You see, once Man City cannot control a game, that's when people start saying, De Bruyne is frauding or Bruno Fernandes is frauding in this game, because their skill set does not require them to control games. They just want to look for one chance. That's why even games that is not going well, find De Bruyne one chance, maybe he makes one run, he makes one square play. That is it, and that's a goal. The Odegaard, he added goals to his game last season, which is very good. Which means even if you move him to LCN, he can still take those outside shots. Because right now he's finding himself in a position where he can always shoot. And even sometimes now, I think he's attempting more shots that even pissing me off sometimes, that just lay the ball. But Odegaard would never be that guy that would now say, I want to be ambitious. So it's either you bring Odegaard back and let him control, and you put someone in an LCM that can make runs for you, can be a box presence, or can create for you. So you have to the trade off. So
one question. Can Odegaard not be the controller playing from the left?
That's what I'm saying. That is his best. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People don't want to hear it because they think putting Odegaard in the left means you want to kill the creativity or you want to kill the connection. Odegaard will connect with the team wherever he is. But the problem is, everything is a trade-off. If you're complaining that, we are not creating more chances or we don't have enough bodies in the box or something like that, blah, 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 you need to look at the profiles of people that are in the midfield. Now, people were shouting Xhaka had his best season last season for us, that Xhaka was great. Why? Because Xhaka was running into the box, making more attacking runs, and making all those assists and joining the attack. That was why, and because we removed the defensive responsibility or the controlling responsibilities from Xhaka. Xhaka was freer last season, although he was still helping in the build-up, but it was free. And that kind of didn't put a lot of pressure on him being able to build up. And Odegaard was still the primary creator. Now, our primary creator is not an ambitious creator. Is his own profile, is Martin Odegaard. So he will always do what he wants to do, knit everything together, make sure we are controlling the game, dictating the play. That is totally different from someone that you want, and that is reflecting our chances created, because our primary creator wants to control the game, and that is his game, and we enjoy that, and that's why Arteta is using him that way. That you see that this season is dropping deeper this season than last season. He's coming back to help the build up more this season than last season, which is why I feel like going forward, Odegaard, if he wants to stay on the right, it's fine, deeper, and should be one that is more ambitious, whether with runs or with creating. We cannot put Odegaard in the team and another controller. There's no point having two controllers in the team when there's no one person that, even if you look at the days of people that the Busquets, the Xavi and Iniesta. Iniesta is a completely different profile to Xavi. Iniesta will drive into the box, make attacking dribbles and stuff like that to create space. Why Xavi will control with Busquets and stuff like that. So that's what we cannot have a controller as our volume creator. And Martin Odegaard will never be the guy that you want to put a cross in and you expect him to run from midfield and run inside the box. He cannot. That is not his profile. So that's what I'm saying, that it's a trade-off. If you want to score, if you want to, we want to create more big chances, we want to have more box presence, that's why Havertz LCM, that's why that's the only brain, that's the only reason or justification that I feel for the Havertz LCM, because Havertz is making runs into the box. Havertz is not someone he's not a ball up. You don't expect him to up the ball. He's going to provide all the off-ball runs into the box. He's going to do all those stuff. Martin Odegaard is still going to control. If you are getting an LCM, let's say we got an LCM that also wants to control the game. Look at Gundogan and even De Bruyne. They are two different people. You are muted. I think you're muted. Look at Gundogan.
I'm not sure they are going to do that. If I thought they want to get an LCM, it shouldn't be a guy that will be.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. It has to be a goal scoring.
Even this Odegaard control thing that you're talking about, I believe I've tried to go and check how he plays last season. I've checked how he makes those line breaking passes, those vertical passes. Odegaard, Odegaard play in a way whereby a pass from Odegaard, there are things he does with Bukayo, right? That he just open up, he just cause a single pass just cause chaos somehow in the final third from Odegaard. But there's a thing that I said, maybe it's a street instruction from the manager because he wants to have total control. Look at something. Yesterday, 33 minutes thereabout yesterday, we were 67% on the ball. We have 67% ball possession, and then Chelsea are like, that's 33, right, on their side. And then we only have one touch like this in their box. And Chelsea, on the other hand, have 16 touches. That means the possession that we're having is in our own half. Or probably when we get to the final third, we're passing back. That's why I said there is not how you want to put it. It's only Zini. Every time I have watched us play, even yesterday he did it. He gave it back. It's because Rice couldn't put that going, couldn't put that at the back of the net, right? I don't know what happened to Rice yesterday. Maybe he freezed somehow. But when you see the only person that take that risk off, I don't care if we end up giving possession to the opponent. I will make this pass. I will carry this ball. I will do something. Is Zinchenko. In fact, he has done more of that in the midfield than any of our midfielders because Partey is not available, obviously.
You're seeing what I'm saying.
So Odegaard on the other side, control. You understand me? I understand that maybe his profile fits in, but I have seen Odegaard give vertical passes, make some sort of combinations with wingers, and these are dangerous things. But at the end of the day, let's look at the players closely too. Maybe they need to step up a bit. Honestly, maybe they need to step up a bit. Odegaard particularly need to step up a bit.
Do you think you can train Odegaard to start playing like Kevin De Bruyne or Bruno Fernandes? Do you think Odegaard
he wasn't playing like De Bruyne last season now?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying that even if you get a goal scoring striker right now, all those goal scoring strikers, what they are most interested in is I want to make those runs. I need someone that can give me 35-yard pass, 20-yard pass. Odegaard will not look up straight and see a striker running, and the first thing he wants to do is attempt that 35 or 45-yard pass. If I've done it in Arsenal, maybe I've done it 3 or 4 times. He can pick a cross, see you run into the ball, but consistently, Odegaard will not, you know what I'm saying? Consistently, he's not that guy that will take those ambitious risks. Because what? He wants to give you that pass that he feels like it's okay for you and you are not going to lose. He wants to give you that pass at the right place. Because I've seen sometimes where you see some people running and you just say, Odegaard, pass this ball. Odegaard will just turn and spread the ball to the other way. And that has nothing to do with that.
So,
Okay.
I appreciate all your inputs, and I'll just read from the comment section. SJ said, I agree with the Shaka point. This year, we're playing too much ball to fit. We need more behind runs from Martinelli and Saka included. Avador is so well. And Emmanuel Raya said, Odegaard is a facilitator rather than a creator. If we want creator per se, then put him in the natural 10 role through the middle to get the best of him creating for both sides. I don't know about that. I don't think I've ever seen him play the traditional 10 role.
Sorry, please. I wanted to ask, have we tried Odegaard and Emil together? Emil in the left 8. And you play Odegaard.
I think so.
I can't remember.
You're muted. You're always muted.
We've tried it once this season. I think Emil came on.
The only time we did something like that, it was against Burnley last year. when Pate was injured, Chaka was injured, and we played Sambi behind them. That was the only game last year when we did it. At the time, the system wasn't like this, right? It wasn't like this. So I think it's something that we should give it more try, because the thing with Emil is a driver. It would take the ball, it would cover ground, it would attract one, two, three players to him, and he can release it. So it could shift the direction from right to left, right? So I think that's something that we should be taking a look
But
at.
Geedolz,
In
I have a
midfield,
question. I have a
sorry.
question for you.
Yeah, sure.
There's something I've been thinking. I've been saying it actually, not like I've been thinking. Some people agree with that. Some people say they don't want to see that. Zini, yesterday, I don't know, maybe you noticed most of the threats that was launched into our 18-yard box came from the left
From the right
flank,
side. From
Zenit
from their
side.
right side.
Yeah,
Just
from
right
their
side.
right side. That's from the Zenit side. Now it looked like Pochettino came in with the idea of, I know Zini is that you get. So now make sure that you crowd the midfield. Caicedo go and bully them. Gallagher go and press everything. Then when you get that ball, launch it to that 2 acres of land behind Zini. He is not now. This thing used to draw Gabriel Magalhaes out. If you guys don't notice that, when you see Gabriel hit map, he always puts boot on the ground in that Zini zone, because when Zini is playing in the midfield, I can't blame him. That's what the manager wants to do. Those spaces cannot be left alone. So Magalhaes needs to come out to stay close to that place, at least for anything. Now, guess what happened? That ball that was crossed into our boss yesterday, if Gabriel is in that place, in that position, I don't know, maybe he was there, I'm very sure that ball will not miss him. I am very sure that ball might not miss Gabriel. In fact, it will even get to Modric. Because
Are you there?
yes, I am there.
Yeah, I think your network is bugging. I don't know if it's me or
I think
everybody.
I think it's you, Santi.
Oh,
It's you,
okay,
Santi.
okay.
No, we are hearing ourselves.
Yeah, okay. I think we need to round it up now. I have to go now. So I appreciate everyone for coming on the stream. Thank you, Geedolz. Thank you, ATL. Thank you, AFCInverted, and everybody in the listener section. Isco, Makanaki, Adegbero, Yinka, Mary, Grace, everybody. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll
Geedolz,
see
when we
you
meet on
guys.
spaces, I will tell you what I want to. I will ask you that question properly.
No problem, no problem. We'll continue the discussion on space. So I'll end the stream now. So if
Thank
you're
you.
already a subscriber, thanks for your support. And if you're new, kindly subscribe to the channel, as a lot of content will be coming out as time goes on. And if you want to be a part of the stream later in the future, just hit me up on Twitter. So this brings us to the end of the stream today.
Thank you for inviting us.